Wonderful thing.
Yeah, yeah.
Going live is a wonderful thing. Hello, chat. How are you?
Hello, chat. It's your friends that Joel's bloke, Elzomba Cleo.
You're still setting up mics, aren't you?
I mean, I'm gonna tweak it if it's too quiet or too loud. Is it too quiet or too
I mean,
loud?
it's quiet for me.
Okay,
It's quiet for
I'm
me,
gonna
but
bring it up some. Okay.
oh,
How's
that's good. That's good.
yeah, yeah.
That's good. Kitty, you're not allowed here. Like I'm like chat. I am having microphone issues today. If it suddenly goes, the cat can't come up because the cabling is poor at the moment.
Yeah.
So if you can't hear me at any point, let me know. But if it gets too much, we'll probably dip. It's fine.
I would really like to have a stream. I haven't streamed for a couple days because
Oh yeah.
we had two holidays here in America. We had President's Day, where everybody sits around in a circle and talks about their favorite president, and then we had Mardi Gras, where
I don't know if
nobody
I don't know
apparently
if you're
does
being
anything
funny.
anymore.
I don't
It
know
was
if you're being
so
funny or
depressing.
not.
There's nothing going on for Mardi Gras in Nashville, and I talked to the owner of a liquor store because I was like, I walked in yesterday morning and I was just like, wow, this place is dead. There's nobody in the parking lot. There's nobody in the store. Am I the only person who didn't prepare in advance for this? And the old lady who works there is just like, no, I think everyone just went to New Orleans this year. And I'm like, well, that must be nice for them.
Wow.
Like,
good for them. You
yeah,
know?
I'm glad that they got to have a nice, full out Mardi Gras. But yeah, I was walking around town and there's just nothing going on. But yeah, the last 2 days were kind of like catch up days for me, since we had done the draw for charity thing over the weekend. I had
Yeah.
800 things around the apartment and stuff that I'd let slide or that needed to be done. So yesterday was like a work on everything except the fun parts of my job, like streaming day. Woo! And so was Monday. So I've had 2 of those in a row. I'm very happy to be hanging out with you today and actually doing
That's good.
one of the fun things for a change.
Yeah, I've had to cancel stuff recently, so it's been a weird few days.
What kinds of stuff have you had to cancel?
You've got, well, I had to cancel a stream and I had to cancel a server meeting and those sorts of things, you know. I like hearing the birds outside your window, Joe.
Yeah, it's really nice out right now.
It sounds lovely. We're not there yet in the UK where I can open a window.
Oh. Soon.
Thank you, Magnum Indy, for the biddies. I appreciate you. Good morning. Isn't COVID still a thing? Because it's definitely here in the UK. How are people having big parades and stuff already?
Well, most parades are outdoors, for one thing.
Yeah, and also the vaccination thing is really on an upswing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, people are vaccinated, and I've had 4 of them now in the UK. So, if you're really in trouble, the NHS will contact you and say, look, I know you've had 3 of these. Would you like a 4th?
Yeah, and I'm still masking. So, I've got some pretty good masks and some confidence there.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I don't mask anymore. I over here I don't see. I may see one mask if I go into the big town, but I don't really go anywhere that's big, so I don't, And I go
we've
to the
had a lot of
supermarket when
other
it's quiet,
respiratory
that sort of
viruses and stuff lately, though, going around,
true.
especially because the kids in school. So
masking has been nice. I don't get nearly as sick anymore. I mean, that's fair. I quit my teaching job, which is why I don't get nearly as sick anymore.
Yeah, see, I go to an elementary school twice a day, so.
Yeah, no, I can see that. I can see you masking. That's fine. I'm not judging anyone for masking if that makes you feel better.
Thank you for not judging me, Cleo.
I mean, I'm not judging about that, no.
Also, we're supposed to let the other hermits know when we're going live now.
Are we?
If anyone wants to hop in. Yeah, because everybody was at the last meeting was just like, yeah, this card game has really shown that we should really have been doing stuff where people can just hop in and say hello this whole time. And I'm like, you mean like me and Cleo's Wednesday morning thing, where we tell y'all you can hop in and say hello? And they're like, but you don't tell us all that morning. Could you remind us?
Okay, I've not been, like, I've got other things going on in my life, so I've not been at the server meetings. Oh, I thought they knew.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
Well, that's the thing is they say they know, but they don't remember, like, they don't know what day Wednesday is. Like,
Actually, no, I'm starting to feel that. I'm starting to feel that, actually, myself. So, you know. I get it. I get it.
so
I mean, but you've been sending messages for
I've
months.
sent them intermittently, but
Okay.
I'm trying, but like no, they want us to actually do it every time. So
Okay.
so I'm gonna be more aggressive, like in that song.
Be aggressive.
Be aggressive. That one. Yay.
That's exactly who you are, Joe. You're the aggressive one, apparently.
Yeah.
I saw someone who described me as aggressive and intimidating, and I'm just like, what?
Cleo, I thought that that's how you see yourself because you constantly talk about it. But
No,
now
that's
you're
how I
saying
want to see myself. That's
That's
just not how I am.
you just
I thought
assume you're a
everybody saw
failure
through
at it.
that.
Oh, okay. Okay. I see now.
And it was just sort of like, oh, I didn't think everybody saw me like that. Good.
Yeah. So apparently, Etho told Scar about the Tumblr poll.
I mean, like, I told B-dubs about the Tumblr poll.
Oh, I
So,
know, but I wasn't gonna bring it up since Scar lost, but Etho was, and he can do that because he lost to Scar.
yeah. That's just funny.
Mm-hmm.
That's just funny. I mean, I'm pretty sure his chat brought it up to him. I definitely saw a clip about that.
Yeah, but like Scar didn't know. His chat didn't tell him like who else was in it or anything.
Oh.
But like Etho was just like, oh yeah, man, you totally beat me at this Tumblr poll, and Joe Hills ran away with the whole thing. And Scar's like, wait, Joe won? It was pretty great.
Oh, bless him. He doesn't understand. Bless his little cotton socks.
People are saying Scar's chat brought it up. I know Scar's chat brought it up like days ago, but they didn't provide any information. They all yelled scatter, and then Scar like was just like, okay, I guess people don't want to talk about that.
I mean, they want Scar to talk about it, but you can't ask Scar to talk about something he doesn't know exists.
Yeah, like if y'all were like, hey Joe, what do you think about the Indonesian Cricket League this year? I would go, I guess it makes sense that Indonesia would have a cricket league, but I didn't know there was one, right? Like, what?
Yeah.
I can't really break down. Well, you know, this team in Jakarta, you know, the East Jakarta Manatees are really doing great this year. Like, I don't think they have manatees in Indonesia for one thing, let alone in East Jakarta.
I mean, where do manatees exist? Like, chat.
New
Find out
Jersey
where
and
manatees
Florida.
exist and tell me.
Florida.
Is that
and,
it?
Yeah.
Manatees don't exist. Only New Jersey and Florida. Joe says so.
Yeah, well, it's primarily Florida, but NJ's husband is named Manatee Gag, so I know there's at least one in NJ who says, "Leave
best
me
thing
out
you
of
could
this"
tell
in the YouTube chat, and Nope Queen says in this chat apparently.
The best thing we tried to explain, but the best thing we could tell Scar was ask Joe. No, don't
No.
ask Joe.
No,
ask me, because
Yeah.
honestly, I'm the best at explaining this sort of stuff because it's funny.
Yeah. So Scar
And
was.
I get a kick out of explaining this
Yeah,
stuff.
Scar was very happy about finishing silver until he found out he lost to me.
The best part is you should probably have told him that I got third.
Mm.
And then he would have been very confused. There's his little corn socks.
What are you saying? Corn socks? I don't know.
Cotton.
Cotton
Bless
socks.
his little cotton socks.
Cotton socks. Okay, so the double T gets softened, so it sounded like con socks, and I was like,
Cotton.
Like convention
Sorry,
socks?
that is
Colton
like one of the
socks.
very
Colton socks.
few appearances of my actual accent coming
Actual
through.
accent coming through there. Yeah. Mm.
I come from an area of the country that aggressively drops T's.
Mm.
So,
Yeah, other
hi.
people assumed it was short for Concorp socks.
I don't have those. I
Well,
missed
maybe he does.
those. I mean, he probably does.
He
He's got so many socks.
does he?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna.
Like honestly, like the reason why I know about Scar, like when Scar was posting hospital pictures, I
Yeah.
saw the same Twitch socks that I've got.
Uh-huh.
So he got the same partner package that I got. So yeah, I'm like, it's one of the things I know about Scar. Scar wears socks. Not many people do, but you know, I know that
You
because
know
I
that.
pay attention.
Good for you. That makes you a good friend.
Yeah.
I did not know that he wore socks, and I would not have. I don't know.
You would not have assumed that he didn't wear socks, to be fair.
I mean, I don't know. Like, is that like because he lives in the Pacific Northwest, and like they do a lot of stuff up there. You know, like
Okay, explain the Pacific Northwest to me. Like, I don't know what the Pacific Northwest
okay, so
really
the
is.
Pacific Northwest is like where it's like so you know how like Silicon Valley is like all the tech guys out in California, and then like
Vaguely,
so then like
yes.
Seattle is all like flip-flops and shorts and stuff too because it's the same kind of like
Okay, but I thought Seattle was really rainy.
yeah, but it's like nerd culture lazy people. I don't know. Like
Nerd culture, lazy people. Is that what Scar is?
I mean, that's what the local, you know, what do you call it?
Okay,
Like it's not that
okay.
they're lazy in general. I'm sure everybody who works for Amazon works very hard, including anybody from Twitch who might be listening in on our streams. But what I'm saying is
Yeah,
that they
okay.
don't necessarily worry a lot about like fashion.
Okay.
Um people are
California, Northern California, Oregon, and Washington. Okay, I actually know where those places are. Thank
yeah,
you.
sorry.
That's okay.
Like
Zanmeet to resubscribe for 22 months. Thank you very much.
you're welcome. Oh wait, you weren't thanking me. I'll be over here. My
I've got
brain.
so many things to thank you for, Joe. That's not one of them.
Well, you can start whenever you feel like it. Uh, okay. I'm gonna start actually coloring this piece because like my brain is so brain dead. Part of me is like I'm gonna screw this up because I'm tired. Like
You know what? They're not. You're not going to screw it up. You're going to have a happy little accident.
yeah,
That's the way of things. I'm pretty sure.
yep. Uh,
I think laid back versus lazy is the word. Possibly. Oh, it's all
yeah,
vibes, is it?
yeah. They pronounce them vibbies up there in the Pacific Northwest.
Do they?
Oh
That's
yeah,
interesting.
yeah. They also created Starbucks, so I mean they make a lot of mistakes.
Okay. Well, you know, I was going to say we can forgive them Starbucks, but I don't actually think I
I
can.
don't think I can. Oh, so apparently I might be going to a Kostka, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. Instead of a Costco, it's like a coffee shop in the Heathrow airport.
Costas.
Costas, yeah. I looked it up on the
Um.
internet, and apparently it is the choice for British high street coffee and coffee aficionados.
Um. Yeah. It's literally it's literally Starbucks, but British. I think.
I
I'm not
assumed
even
that
sure
was
if
the
it's
case.
naturally
That was why I
British.
brought it up in this context.
I know, but
Uh,
it's a case of you know, every bad thing you've heard about Starbucks is probably only slightly better in the UK because of, you know,
laws.
laws.
Because of legal requirements. Thank you to Evan Netta for tipping 2 US Abacus speeds. That's going to rotate us 2 degrees
It's a
angular
rip-off.
here
It
on the
is.
camera.
It is a rip-off. Thank you, Paleo. That is true.
I'm going to say anything you get in an airport is a ripoff. Uh,
I mean, like,
and
I'm talking about the Costco, the Costas in my local town centre.
gotcha.
Also a rip-off.
Yeah, because
Um,
now that I'm having to drop off my kid for these unaccompanied minor flights and pick her up, I'm spending like 6 hours every holiday weekend at the airport, and I don't even get to go anywhere.
Oh,
and
that
it's
sounds like
like,
fun.
yeah, this is one of the other reasons I'm behind on everything. Uh,
Yeah.
but because the airport wants like the parent or guardian or whatever to actually drop the kids off and pick them up, it's not even something I could like farm out to a babysitter. Um, and it's not like it's super amazing quality time either. It's just like
Hmm.
stressful airport time. Yay.
Yeah. Well, speaking of farming things out, I'm actually looking for a short-term editor.
Mm.
So for video, for a specific set of videos,
Oh, is this for your
because I've
Time
got
Witch stuff?
it's not, but I'm just like, oh God, I have got so many projects on the go.
How soon do
I
you
need.
need them? Because, like, Quinn is working on, like, an actual TV pilot right now, but we'll have more time in the next few weeks. Because, like, Quinn
um,
has, like, a master's degree in film directing and, like, all the equipment necessary to do, like, high-end, fast turnaround video production. Now, if you're looking to pay somebody $15, that's not going to be the case, but,
I'm not
like,
looking to pay someone
your
like
your your
$15.
results are going to be a lot better.
Um, it's the turnaround time that's the problem.
Yeah,
I'll talk to you after the stream,
sure, sure.
and we'll discuss it. But yeah,
Yeah, because
like I was talking to Scott about this, and he was just sort of I was just like, normally I would ask the hermits, but no hermit has an editor.
apparently Impulse has hired an editor to do some of his side series, but he's
Yeah,
also said that that's a full time. He hired the person full time, and they're overworked and like stressed out, and so I don't know if they should be
yeah.
taken
So that
outside.
wouldn't be helpful.
Yeah,
Um, I know absolutely nothing about editing. How hard can it be? Thanks, Red.
yeah,
As somebody who has done this for 10 years, sure, it's not hard. Takes a lot of time.
yeah. Well, my problem is with like the editing stuff. Like, I end up going back and doing a lot of extra voiceover or replay mod stuff, or so
I
like
mean, that
I'd
is
end up
all.
having to send the
Yeah.
person the replay mod files. They could at least do that part for me, I guess. But like they're still going to be like, okay, we need you to do this voiceover, and then at that point they're like, I end up writing a lot of the show while I'm editing it, at least for Hermitcraft.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't have a problem with. I'll talk to you about it. Like that wouldn't be an issue. In this scenario. So. Yeah, I mean, like Scott gave me a list of people who have editors
Yeah,
that I could maybe go and talk to and say, look, this is going to be a short-term thing. I don't want to steal your dude, but yeah, we'll talk.
yeah.
Uh,
I was talking to one person who was part of the I don't even know how to pronounce it, the Alf crew or something, and
I have
like
no idea.
I don't know what it is, but it was somebody at one of the Minecraft behind the scenes like mixers or whatever, and
Hey, Jam.
they were talking about like how much of a hassle it is coordinating their build teams.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, "Oh, I just build everything myself on my server. We don't do that." And the person's like, "You can't run a professional SMP without a build team." I'm like, "Well, I mean, we've been doing it for a
We've
decade."
been doing it for 10 years.
And she's just like, "Well, but it's not going to be cost effective, and you're going to go insane. Your time is too valuable to be spent building it." I'm like, "Well, too bad. I'm already pushing the limits of sanity, but I'm not diagnosed with anything, and I'm just gonna leave it at that." So, like,
I mean, like, I find it interesting that is like the new generation of YouTubers are going, oh, you definitely need a build team to actually get anywhere.
well, because I don't
And then
even think they're.
Hermitcraft is basically, we are the build team.
Well, I don't think that they're paying their build teams though. A lot of times, or I don't think they're paying them a fair rate, and so like a lot of things are cost effective if you're, and I don't know about like
You're not.
well, and that's the thing though is I don't know about this particular group. Like they're probably paying their people, but like the impression I got was not a lot of people are, or this is one of those like, oh, you work your way up thing, and it's like I don't.
Work your way up off the backs of others is what it sounds
I don't.
like.
I don't want to do that, man. I like.
No, I don't want to do that either.
But oh my gosh, I've got a list of. So my project manager wants me to write down basically every task I do every
Yeah,
day. So that way we can review it and at some point figure out what can be delegated, right?
yeah.
And like
Sorry,
every.
I just need to address this very quickly.
Sure.
Cleo just steals from her patrons. Could you actually point out, like, where in my current build that I have legitimately I might say I'm stealing that as a meme. I don't want this to the reason why I'm addressing this is because I don't want them to get like that. If I use something that somebody has built, I will credit them. So for example, like the horse, I've credited the horse. I do not steal specifically. I will take ideas and inspiration. Okay? I just want to get that out ahead of time. Right. Just clarifying. And the times when I actually do that are, I think, one thing in maybe 100 of things that I've used from another person. So
I had a series where I built an art museum and then I paid people who had. I commissioned people who were artists that I knew to make
mhm.
builds in Minecraft and send me screenshots of them, and then I would rebuild them in my museum because they weren't allowed to log onto Hermitcraft. So, I mean, I've
Yeah, I
used
mean, I feel like
so
that's
I would
legit.
consider that's kind of like using a build team, but that was like
Mm.
for very I was literally commissioning sculptures for the game to go in the context of a museum full of commissioned sculptures. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
so
like,
but like that was not cost effective. That was a stunt. Right. That was when I
no.
still had my day job and could use the extra day job money to like
Yeah,
help my artist friends have an extra job.
yeah.
Um
I mean, I'm not going to ask someone to I never ask people. What I say is, can I use this on Hermitcraft? And the answer, if I credit you, and the answer is yes. I have never specifically gone out and said, I need this kind of build, you know?
Yeah, in that case, I said, "Hey, I need sculptures. You have this much space. Build whatever you want,
Yeah,
and I'll pay you. Here's half up
yeah.
front." Um,
I mean, yeah,
but that was back in season 4 when I had once again a day job and a
a
little
day
bit of
job.
extra
Yeah.
money. Oh gosh, I
Oh, the good old days where we had to actually no, not the good old
I
days.
mean,
Like, I cannot think of something I want less than to go into the good old days.
mm, yeah, but
Joking about stealing is how you get misunderstandings about this. Yeah, I know, but it's a case of it's a joke
well, I
between
get
me and
really
my
annoyed about this
patrons.
too. Like when I'm doing a charity stream and somebody makes a joke about embezzling the money. I'm like, you can't
Yeah,
do that.
you can't do that.
I'm always the bad guy on stuff like this, and I really frustrates me. But I'm like, look, y'all, these people who are showing up and supporting this event, like, are really putting a lot of faith in us, and we shouldn't be actively undermining that for a laugh. Like,
No.
that's not okay. You don't want to stress people out, even if it's just a little about stuff like this, right?
I mean, yeah, I mean, if somebody was joking about embezzling the money, I might go, I'm not entirely sure I want to give you money right now.
Yeah, yeah. And I'm like, oh my gosh. Anyway,
Eh.
so I was talking about how I have to keep, like, I keep a list of, like, everything I do basically every day that is considered, like, a task, right?
Mm-hmm.
That like, what am I spending my time on that we might someday be able to delegate out? Or if it's not something that we can delegate out, how can we make sure that I have the time to do whatever these things are right, you know?
Yeah.
And like I think my list for yesterday had like something like 36 items on it, and none of them were get to play Minecraft. That was at least one of the nice things about my old day job is I could at least always wrap up the day playing Minecraft for a little bit.
You know what I miss? The thing that I aggressively like, the difference between when we started versus when all these new people are starting
Yeah.
is they start so young. They never had to get a real job.
Well, that also means they didn't have to get tens of thousands of dollars of university debt. And it
I
also
mean,
means that
yeah,
they don't have
but what? No,
hospital
what I'm
bills from their,
saying,
first kid's birth. Oh yeah, you don't get those in England anyway. But
no,
like, oh my
no, but
god,
what I'm
like it was
saying
like
is
twelve,
like,
fifteen thousand
if I
dollars.
if I had if I had started when I just got out of when I just got out of university, the difference to my life would have been ridiculous. You know, it would have been huge.
Oh well, so here's the thing, Cleo, is I did. I've been
Mm-hmm.
streaming since I graduated from college in 2008, and I have been streaming since 2008. I didn't start on
Yeah.
YouTube until 3 years later, but I have been streaming since like the month I graduated from college, basically. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm still where I am now, so I don't know, like, there's a huge difference between saying, like, oh, if I could have done this as a full time job and supported myself, but, like, I, if I went to college at all, I was going to leave with tens of thousands of dollars in debt. Now,
That's true.
maybe if I had started this in after high school instead of going to college, I would be fine, but I don't know. But, like, there wasn't really streaming tech back in 2004,
Mm-hmm.
so I don't know.
But no, it's just like, oh, I wish I could have started younger, you know?
Mhm.
And, you know, obviously the tech wasn't available when I was younger.
Yeah. I
But
I guess what I'm saying is starting younger doesn't necessarily guarantee success younger.
well, no, but I'm look at Mumbo started when he was 16. Yeah. It feels like having the technology there when you're young is a massive step up, is all I'm saying.
Uh-huh.
Because like if I'd gotten started younger, I feel like I could have made a go of it. Is all I'm saying. And
Yeah, I mean, if I hadn't done literally, like, I guess what I'm saying is, like, I started as early as humanly possible. Like, because
mhm,
2008 was, like, right when this tech was coming out where you could actually do it.
yeah,
And I still didn't start making $100 a month off it for 3 years. And then I still didn't start making $600 a month off it for 8 years, and then I still didn't make enough to go full time with it until like 12 years later. Like, I guess I don't know.
I
I
mean that's legitimate.
like
That's
like
legitimate.
like it, just because. So you don't necessarily see though, and this is like, and maybe the kids. I don't know if your kids at your school talked about their streaming or YouTube stuff, but like I hear about it
Mhm.
all the time from my daughter's friends. Like, and their
Uh-huh.
parents are like, yeah, my kids wants to get into streaming. I got them set up with a rig and blah 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 blah, and they're not, like, nobody's watching it. And I'm like, well, that's how it is. But like, here's the thing: is
Yeah.
like you're hearing about the mumbos and the people that we meet at these conferences, but they're like
This is
one in
true.
20,000. And so,
Yeah.
I like what you're saying isn't just I wish I had started sooner, but I wish I had started sooner and won the lottery. And that
Yeah,
I
that's
would
fair.
also have liked to have won the lottery, but like it's
I
not
see what you're saying. I
it
don't
it
necessarily agree, but I see what you say.
starting young is nice if you don't have to go to college and take on a bunch of debt, but every every kid is starting young. Like, and this is one of the things I've had to kind of explain to my daughter. And she's like, "Oh, my friend's got a YouTube channel where they do this. My friend's got this other friend's got this TikTok channel. This other friend's on Twitch. Blah blah blah." And I'm like, "Well, here's the thing. The Their parents don't have any connections to that world, and so if they want to mess around and learn stuff or whatever, that's going to be the best way maybe for them to do that. But like, this
Mhm.
is one of the only cases where nepotism can actually help you, because I have no connections in any other industry. You focus on doing better at the things that you might want to do on camera, and you don't worry about streaming numbers. You don't worry about getting
No.
out in front of the camera right now, because when you do want to get in front of the camera, when you are old enough to do that, which at 10 I don't think a lot of these kids even should be
I
doing
don't think they
unboxing
should be
videos.
like
But
arguably like
whatever, I'm not their parents, right? But
no.
I've told my kid, like, look, because of child labor laws and the fact that I actually run a streaming production company, you can't be doing this stuff, at least not without like a bunch of other stuff going on here where we gotta really lock down a bunch of things. Like we had to dot a lot of I's and cross a lot of T's and stuff to make sure that, like, if she was doing a show, it would probably be considered like an offshoot or a spin-off of my show and under the same company, and that would be a
Yeah.
liability for me. So I'm just like, look, whatever it is that you want to do, you get good at it, you practice it, and then when you're ready to push it public, if that's the way you wanted to go, you're going to have so many opportunities these kids would never have. They're going to have to throw elbows and punch the guy next to them and try and scramble to get ahead. You are so far ahead of them in terms of audience reach if you decide you want to do this. You don't have to stress about it. But, like, and this is not something that she actively, like, necessarily feels strongly about, but just something she idly is like, you know, if I did do a show or whatever. It's like, no, but I don't know. It's a whole
I
thing.
mean, the business itself is too volatile for me to actually recommend doing it. It's too beholden on other companies and stuff.
Well,
You know?
that's one of the things too, is nobody wants to own their vertical in our business. Nobody wants to host their own servers. Nobody wants to ship their own merch. Like, in order to actually be able to guarantee this stuff consistently, like, you
Mm-hmm.
gotta own as much of your vertical as possible, and everyone's scared of it. And like, all it takes is for Twitch or YouTube to screw us over. And like, you know, it's one of those things, like, right now I'm not hosting my own streaming service, but
Mm-hmm.
I've set up stuff like that when necessary for clients in the past at my old day job. And so, like, if I had to eat a huge bandwidth bill to keep self-hosting my show because Twitch and YouTube for some reason shut me down, I
Mm-hmm.
could do it. I couldn't necessarily afford to do it for very long unless people really wanted to increase their, like, Patreon support or something. But, like, you know, I wouldn't have to stop making Hermitcraft episodes if I got blocked from Twitch and YouTube. I could host them
Right.
somewhere, you know?
Right.
And it's just like, at that point, like, it's like, okay, I'm going to start uploading these to BitTorrent. You guys download them yourselves. But, yeah. I don't know. But yeah, that's one of the things that's dangerous too, though, is the kids that are coming in and just doing the video side of things. They're not even they're not learning the broader skill set necessary to run a
No.
business like this, right? So that's dangerous in and of itself, because then you're completely dependent on the ad revenue that YouTube gives you,
Mm-hmm.
and you're dependent on, like, these what do you call them, like, VPN sponsorships and stuff. It's just,
Yes.
I don't know. It seems perilous to me.
I mean, like, so many people are dependent on those. It just seems to be the model for when people start doing this full time. That's what you go for. I've managed to avoid going for sponsorships.
Yeah.
But, yeah. Entire content creation is getting saturated. Some successful vlog families start, and
Well,
suddenly
luckily
they're a
I'm an
bunch.
artist
Yeah.
instead, so I'm not competing with those people.
Yeah.
Like, they can do their thing and I'll do mine. That's like if you're like, "Oh no, Joe, there's a lot of ice cream shops popping up." It's like, that's fine. I'm not an ice cream shop. Not my problem. I'm more worried about online gambling. I think online gambling
Yeah.
has a lot more potential to eat our lunches, because, like, if you look at some of the folks that are supporting us and showing up and tipping $10-15 here and there, you know what?
Mm-hmm.
Like, they start getting really into sports gambling. It's like, you know, maybe they'd rather, if they enjoy giving a sports gambling site hundreds of dollars a month instead of the hermits, that's their choice, that's their money, I get it. But, like, that's I think one of the only real, like, that sort of thing is the only real threat to the sort of support, broadly speaking, that Hermitcraft has.
Yeah.
But yeah, online casino ads, those scare me. That's because, yeah, it's the goodwill of people supporting the arts that keeps my show alive, and if that goodwill is instead going to supporting, like, an online slots vendor, well, I'm kind of screwed. you know?
Yeah, well, if like JT says, if they're already into sports gambling, they'd already be there, not here. I
Well,
mean,
you
I feel
say
like
that, but
that's fairly true.
why are these sports gambling sites spending so much money on advertising? It's because there are markets where it used to be illegal that it isn't anymore, right? So there are people who've never online sports gambled before in their lives, and they start seeing all these ads. They might give it a try. I don't think it's safe to say that if they were going to do it, they would already be doing it, because this wasn't legally available in most states until a year or two ago. This is brand new.
Okay.
So I don't know.
I'm not sure. I sort of agree that I think most people who are gambling inclined would already be gambling. I mean, the thing that concerns me there is kids, obviously.
I
Um,
well, I guess what I'm saying is, though, um, the thing about kids and the thing about people in places where it's newly legalized is it's both cases where they grew up, or where they didn't necessarily there's no inoculation. There's no,
mhm.
like, if you grow up in Vegas and you occasionally go down and hang out somewhere that has slots, whatever,
Yeah.
it's just part of the culture. But if you live in the middle of nowhere and all of a sudden online sports betting is legalized, you didn't grow
Mhm.
up with, like, seeing how your dad did it or your uncles, or like what mistakes they made. You have nobody else's mistakes to learn from here.
Mhm.
It's all gonna be on you.
Yeah.
And, like, that, I feel like we don't give enough credit to how much we learn from other people's mistakes, even when we're not trying to learn. Um,
I
yeah,
see what you're saying. Yes.
like there. This is anything new like this is perilous in new ways, I guess. I don't know.
Mhm.
I'm sorry, I'm
No,
kind of rambling here, but
you
I
kind
don't
of
think.
are, but I see what you're saying. I'm just looking for glue.
Yeah,
So,
no, that's fair. I just feel like you're being a little bit more dismissive, and maybe it's different over there because it was always legal or something. But, like, around here,
I mean,
this.
it is fairly. As far as I'm aware, it is legal. Um, but I, it might just be me. I genuinely don't really think it's a problem. For us specifically,
Uh huh.
but
Well, I don't think that it's. I'm not saying, like, oh, this is absolutely gonna wipe us out or anything. I'm just saying, like, i if anything was going to undermine the sort of support that we depend on,
mhm,
it's stuff like that. It's also stuff like video games that have huge gambling elements or whatever,
mhm,
because basically, folks who enjoy games give us some of their extra money, and that lets us do this job.
yeah,
And sports gambling online, video games, or that, like, these online mobile games or whatever, where you buy $59 worth of gems or whatever.
yeah,
That's the same people who like games, and it's also their discretionary budget, right? Like,
yeah.
so I don't know.
I mean, Rafa says when I moved to the UK, I was shocked at the amount of bet offices that were everywhere. I mean, yeah, like there's betting offices. Like there's like at least 3 into my town that I know of within like walking distance of each other. It's just, I don't know, it's just ubiquitous here, really.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing, though, is, like, if you grew up in Atlantic City, you grew up in Vegas or near there, yeah,
Hmm.
you kind of know where the rails are. But
Yeah.
I just don't think I like, there's a reason that these online gambling people are pushing so aggressively with their ads. Also, I just posted tips are welcome via paypal.me/Joe Hills and YouTube Super Chat. Because this is a viewer supported show. Y'all are the ones that allow me to do this. Um, yeah.
Yeah. What do we think of the upcoming Minecraft updates?
Oh, I don't want to learn too much about him. I want to be surprised on camera.
I am also doing a very similar thing. I never learn too much. All I know is there is new wood.
Mm-hmm. But you got to let it dry
Um,
before you cook it, because otherwise it's still too wet.
Yep, that's what I heard. I mean, like, I'm never too invested in the updates anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. So
It's like I get what I get, and I don't really like it. Like, what I do is not dependent on the updates.
well, I mean, to some degree, like if the updates unlock some ability I wouldn't have had before, I'm gonna lean into it. Like the higher world limit let me finally build this pinball machine. I
Yeah.
wanted to do that last. So originally that was supposed to happen like one update earlier, was they were gonna raise the world height, and then they pushed it, and so I pushed my pinball machine plans. But also, real quick, thank you to Louisa for the 10 who's suspending my money here because I don't gamble. I'm gonna go ahead and rotate the camera another 10 degrees. Woo! Yay! So that's 12 degrees angular.
Nat the Squirrel has resubscribed for 2 months. 2 months isn't long, but I'm grateful one for creators like Cleo and Joe.
Yay!
Thank you. That's important, and we appreciate that you like us enough and you want to keep coming back.
Yeah, well, and even like 1 month subscription is worth like watching the ads on every video either of us has ever made. So like
yeah.
you're one of the top contributors to keeping our show alive, even with just 1 month or of subscription or sending me $5 or whatever. Speaking of which, Mini Cheese Mouse just sent me 6, who says I'll be on Joe and Cleo streaming this again next week. I'll bet on Joe and Cleo streaming this again next week. Thank you very much, Mini Cheese Mouse. That does become more likely the more people pay us. The dog outside seems excited for the tip too. Yeah.
I don't really like pink, but I like these pages. Thank you, Nikki. I like pink is like, when I was growing up, pink used to be my favorite color, but then, you know, like it I was going to go into a pink rant, but after the gambling rant, I can't. I don't have it in me.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Cleo's all ranted out.
Yeah, I used to really like pink. I now think it's okay, but yeah. Oh, hype train. Thank you.
Oh wait, I got a thing for that.
Thank you to Nudes with a H at the beginning. I don't know how to pronounce it, but thank you for the 2 months resub. Yay. And JT cheered biddies saying, "Come on, lucky sevens," and pulls the big lever. Okay. Bakura cheered Cleo biddies, and Nursing Geek gifted a sub. Thank you very much indeed. I appreciate all of you. A pink rant while drawing from us. Like I like pink is like colors.
While you rant, I'm gonna go get my pencil sharpener real quick. BRB.
Yeah, okay. Spock to who? He subscribed for 7 months. Going, woo, hype train. Yeah, no, pink is one of those colors which is a case of, if you like pink, people will make judgments about you. If you don't like pink, people will also make judgments about you. And they're all stupid judgments. It's a color. Illusivity's gifted 5 community gift subs. Thank you very much. Mini Cheese Mouse tip 690 says, "I bet on you, Joe, streaming again soon." Thank you very much. Anonymous gifted a sub. Thank you very much indeed.
Okay, I got the bag that the pencil sharpener is supposed to be in, but maybe no pencil sharpener. We're going to see how this goes. Either way, thank you, Kyle Valier, for tipping 20, who says, "Hi, Mr. Joe and Ms. Cleo. Love you both. Hope you're both doing well." I'm doing fantastic.
I'm doing all right. Kanarasha tip 420 says, "This is definitely bribery to do more streams," which is definitely something that works. Also, again, thank you for doing these. Any spot of sunshine in a dark and depressing life. We appreciate you. I mean, bribery to do these streams, I mean, like, I know that's a joke, but, you know.
The thing is, it helps us prioritize stuff like this. Like, when it's like, oh
Yeah.
boy, I've got a rough day today. I'd love to hang out with Cleo and draw, but I don't know if I can justify it. Like,
Yeah,
it helps us
like
justify stuff when we get paid for
yeah,
it.
I mean, like there are times when hanging out with Joe, yeah, I need to get paid for it. Is all I'm saying.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah, speaking of pink, Badger Spanner wants to remind everyone that she's sitting there with bright pink hair, saying, it's not even my favorite color.
Right, but like when I putting green onto hair doesn't work well for me.
Mm-hmm.
But green is my favorite color, and it's like.
Thank you, Chloe the Great and Powerful, for tipping 7, who says, this is like a slot machine. If a slot machine was a stream of 2 people doing crafts, that's going to bring us up to 45. Thank you, Chloe the Great and Powerful. I mean, the thing is, though, when y'all support the arts, you don't know what art you're going to get out of it. So there is some level of, like, entropy. But, like, at least with us, we've been around for a decade. There's a certain level of quality you can expect, at least. Even if you don't know what we're going to apply that talent to. You know what I mean? But, like, I don't know.
I like the idea that with us, you know what you're going to get. That checks. That tracks. Sure. I was hoping for like little, I don't know, pina coladas or something up and down this thing. I don't think I can pull it off. As someone who grew up in a pink room, I no longer like pink. I grew up in a pink room. I think it's all right.
Welcome,
It's
Mad
not my
Hatter Gee
favorite color.
Raiders.
I think we need to go with the succulent stickers again.
Ooh.
I know.
Oh, I just realized that I'm not looking at your stream. Never mind. It's fine. It's too late. It's too late to set it up. Because there's a problem with Chrome where I have to disable hardware acceleration to capture the streams for some reason now.
I've got pink butterflies.
But
I use pink
also,
butterflies.
if I do that, it breaks my Pathfinder game renderer. So then I have to change it when I do Pathfinder the night before. So it's like they need opposite settings. It's real helpful. Also, yeah.
Cleo, I love those.
Wait. Jim!
Thank you! Yay, Jim!
I didn't want to interrupt the rant, so I listened to it for a while.
No. Feel free to interrupt. Like, getting us off the rant is probably good for our health.
Yeah, we'll just...
Thank you. Yay. What are you up to, Jim?
I'm designing my interior right now in a creative world for my Hermitcraft bigots.
Your base is so cool looking. It's just so cool looking. I love your base.
Thank you. I'm really happy with it. I'm never doing it again. This is the one and only. But
No. I get that. I feel like I've gone over the top with what I'm doing as well. I understand.
Oh, see, I'm the opposite. I'm like, I have learned so much building this pinball machine. The next pinball machine I do is going to be way better.
Oh, God.
5 seasons of pinball machines.
Like, you say that like it's funny. We know it's true, Joe.
Oh yeah. No. I've made so many early mistakes here where I'm like, oh, it's too late to fix that now. Like...
I desperately need to like have time to work on my stuff right now, and I just don't, and it's driving me insane because I kind of want to get into like all the, for me, the fun part, which is all the armor stand stuff.
Yeah.
So
Ooh. I have armor stand stuff at my base I want you to do too, but I don't want to overwhelm you. So when you're free,
no, go for it. Like honestly, at the moment, I've got so many series to do, and I'm like, what am I doing for Hermitcraft? I've got so much to do. If you give me something that is like, go and do this specific project
Salem,
for someone else,
Let's rotate.
I'm more inclined to do
55
that
degrees.
than I am to do anything else. So
fantastic. I've got heads to put in jars.
Then I'll unmute here.
Oh, that's easy. I can do that. That's perfect. I appreciate that. I can definitely put heads in a jar. That's what we're after.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, no, that sounds evil. Are you being
Yeah, it's
evil?
from my dungeon. I have
Ooh,
the bottom of one of my towers has a dungeon, and I've been slowly collecting hermit heads whenever I murder them.
nice.
So I'm gonna put them on display in a jar.
That sounds like something I would do.
Yeah.
You coming
Yeah.
for my brand?
It's audience suggested. So
Ah, okay, fair enough.
they said that there's too much pink and like light and elven, and they were like, you got to do something evil.
I mean, I agree. I always, like, if there is an option, always go for the evil option. It's so
Yeah.
much more fun.
Well, if you're gonna do some complex armor stand work, isn't there like a barrel escape scene in The Hobbit where they're like, they escape the elven dungeon in barrels or on barrels or something?
Oh my gosh, Cleo, put it in my river.
Yeah, Cleo's
I
go.
absolutely could.
Yeah.
I absolutely could if that's what you wanted. That's
That
the
would
thing
be
I could
so
do.
funny. The only problem is if I commit to this bit too hard and there's too many, I will lag out Impulse, who's directly below me.
Oh, that's okay. That's okay.
That's okay. Impulse will like honestly, armor stands aren't as laggy as everybody complains they are if you do them
Yeah.
right. So, everybody's going, "Oh, what about the lag?" And I'm just like, "My base is fine. You want to see lag? You go to a redstoner's base, okay? If they can
That's
get
the
away with
problem.
it,
It's
why
a
can't I?"
redstone right below me. That's
I mean, I see the problem. I don't appreciate the problem, but I see it. You know,
yeah, no, that would be really funny though. I love that. Good idea, Joe.
I
it is a
try.
good idea.
Yeah.
I just need to think about the barrels because there would have to be.
Well,
Hmm.
you could make them out of actual Minecraft barrels. Just do them like
It could
four
be
by
extra
two by
funny because
two.
you could use Impulse's head as if he's the dwarf going down the river in a barrel. It'd be perfectly accurate.
Yeah, this could be a lot of fun.
Like if you can get me his beard,
I can get you his beard.
like if we could get multiple copies of his beard, then
Yeah.
like
I can
you got
murder
me
an
dwarves.
Impulse a lot.
Every hermit could have a beard in that barrel. Is all I'm saying.
Oh, that would be fantastic.
I love this. I'm so inspired.
See, this is why we do craft
know what to
streams
do.
to get inspired.
You know what you need to do. Get me the heads. Get me the beards. Actually, I'm not worried about the heads.
I'll get you the beards. I'll do it. I think Impulse will get a giggle out of that too. I'm not going to tell him what it's for.
What? Can I just have your beard like multiple
Can I have
times?
several of your beards, please? Thank you. I'll tell you later.
How many hermits are? How many hermits are there these days?
20-something.
25,
something.
I think.
Yeah.
Okay, 25 beards, Impulse. 25 of your finest beards. And then it's like, all my beards are finest, Gem. What are you talking about? Can't
Only
tell
the
you, it's a
best.
surprise. Actually, I think it would be genius. It'd be so much fun. So much fun.
Nintendo Mac writes trapdoors can make 4x4 barrels. That's true.
I mean, this is true. What my problem is that my vision, like I already have a vision of this, is that they are in full-size barrels, but the barrels would be tipping.
Oh, yeah.
And that's
diagonal
really
barrels
difficult
are
to
hard.
do. What I could do is I could probably get composters
Oh, yeah.
big enough to fit like mini dwarves inside, maybe. So
I like that. It'd be realistic because I'm an elf and I'm supposed to be tall. So then if they're smaller, it works out.
you know what? That's true. That
Yeah.
does work out. I could absolutely do this for you, and it would be funny as heck. And I would get a
How many
kick out of
diamonds
it.
am I gonna owe you? Let me get mining.
Oh, look. Impulse just gave me cards. Is all I'm saying. Not Impulse. XP just gave me cards.
Oh, yeah. Somebody in my comment section pointed out that this card game basically is the perfect replacement for diamonds on the server. There was all this complaint about us not having a good currency. And it's like,
We have a great currency.
Yeah, now it's like,
we
okay,
feel like is valuable.
Yeah, it's like, okay, well, I'll give you this rare Asuma if you dig this out for me, is actually like a really viable way to move forward.
I mean, you're not wrong. Not wrong.
I like it. I like a trading economy.
Yeah, I think that's cool.
Trading economy is much more fun than the barter. So.
Oh, by the way, Jem, my kid loves your Stardew Valley series.
Thank you. I love Stardew. It's
Yeah,
been so fun.
She's had a lot of fun watching. I think she's watching the VODs of your streams. I don't think she's catching them live, but Yeah.
Yeah, I was speaking of, I actually need to edit the other one today and put it up on my VODs channel.
Nice.
So much to do.
Yep, always.
No, it's so fun though. It's so nice to play a game that's not Minecraft, to be honest.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've started streaming
Yeah.
Super Mario World while I do replay mod stuff. So like I'll have a stream where it's like replay mod and Super Nintendo games, and people will watch me mess with replay mod for 7 minutes, and then I hit export and I switch over to Super Nintendo, and then when the
Yeah,
export's done, we watch the output, tweak it a little bit, export again, more Super Nintendo. That's been kind of nice.
My PC would melt if I tried to do that, but I do like that idea.
Well, the nice thing about the Super Nintendo is it's on the capture card, and so
Ah,
like I'm not running a game on the PC at the same time I'm doing the export.
right. Makes
And
sense.
OBS, like the bottlenecks that affect the export speed, OBS isn't really making worse at all. So, funnily enough, Discord does slow down the replay mod render way more than OBS. So whatever Discord's doing in the
Does
background
it?
is clearly terrible. So I have to open my Discord chat on my laptop during those streams.
Oh, yikes.
Yeah, that really it worries me. I was like, wow, there's like a 10% speed hit on these exports when Discord's open. Like that's a lot. I can shave a minute off a 10-minute export by closing Discord. Whew. That's
My only request would be to turn down the shortcut opening closing sounds in the TCG videos. There are so many of those. I mean, this is true. I hadn't realised that they would get annoying. I say that as I've only done one TCG video.
yeah, I've done a lot of TCG streams. My next video is gonna have both the game Gem. Thank you again for coming while we were playing the guitar. So I'm gonna have some of that, and then I'm gonna have some of the
That was
charity
an
event.
intense game.
Jem, do you have an editor? Perchance.
No, but I messaged one just this morning.
Oh wow, times they are
Oh.
changing.
I
See?
don't want one to edit everything that I do, but I
Same.
have some series that I'm like, well, they could edit Skyblock. Like,
Yeah,
that's
yeah. I've got like a lot going on.
yeah,
At the
I'm in
moment.
multiple series, as you guys know,
Yeah.
Empires and Hermitcraft and my Skyblock, and I stream, and so it'd be nice to have somebody to just do some of it, and I'll keep the main stuff.
Yeah, that's what my thoughts were. It was like Hermitcraft is something that would always be done by me, but you know.
Yeah, I think I've contemplated the idea of getting an editor because on Premiere Pro you can, if I have an editor that is also using Premiere like I am, they can
Yeah.
send me the edit and I can then go in and polish it and add voiceover or whatever, and they can just do the rough cuts because sometimes I record for like 5 hours of nothing and cutting it down is
Yeah.
so
Same.
just that step would be nice.
I mean, like my Hermitcraft videos, I don't find particularly difficult because I like if I'm building, then I'm doing it via replay mod. But if I'm like interacting with people, then like it's usually very like TCG is obviously not is the exception to this. But you know, it's like
I haven't even
everything else.
tried
If
to
I'm
edit
like
that.
interacting with people, it's short and it's concise, and I can use most of that clip.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't find Hermitcraft difficult per se.
My problem with my
Right.
last Hermitcraft episode is that half of the clips that where I would all of the clips not where I was explaining what I was doing for the episode, I screwed up somehow. Like I had OBS set up wrong, and so the video is unusable.
Oh, I
And
did that for half of my last video. It was so frustrating.
yeah,
Hey,
so-
do you want to know something? Go on, Joe. I'll tell you a really annoying story after you finish.
no, it's fine. But like it's all stuff that really depends on like opening and closing and looking at inventories too. And so you can't use replay mod's first person mode for that because it doesn't show the inventories. So I'm gonna have to basically edit the video without those bits and then record a new intro being like, boy, I sure had a lot of inventories full of stuff that I can't show you because I've already hidden it all in Pearl's place. Like, but I wanted to show the before, like, look at how much junk I have. And then here's me dumping it in Pearl's junk shop. But I only have the footage of me just dumping garbage in Pearl's shop. Because I refused to use that depot. Because we tried to get permission to build a depot for months. And everybody's like, well, don't build it there. Don't build it there. Just wait and see. And then Asuma's like, I built a depot. And I'm like, I'm not
Yeah,
using
that's
Asuma's
exactly
depot.
British
how he
accent
said
really
that.
adds
I
to
am
it,
not
yeah.
using Asuma's depot. I'm not. So
I'm
anyway,
stealing from it if that makes you feel better.
well, but anyway, so Pearl's got that garbage shop, and like she uses a lot of inventory containing things in her build. So it's like, oh boy, if there's a barrel in this garbage truck as like to look like a fuel tank, I am filling that with cobblestone. Like every part of her junk shop is going to be overflowing with building materials by the time I'm done. But I lost all the footage of me showing that I had like 80 double chests of this material at the beginning, and it's really frustrating.
So, speaking of problems, you know, Joe, I've been talking about having mic issues.
Yeah.
I recorded an entire episode of my new series, and there was no sound,
Oh no.
nothing. So I had to like figure a way to salvage the footage and record a new episode, like of all the stuff in 5 hours
Ouch.
before my regular upload time.
Oh,
And
I
it was
saw you
just sort of
talking about
like,
that on Twitter. Oh no.
fortunately, I had Scott. Scott was just like, why don't you use that footage for a little bit and then just reverse time?
Yeah.
And because you're a time witch, you can just reverse time and it'll be cool.
Yeah.
And then it was just like, you know what, Scott? Thank you. You are the best. You've got the best ideas. So yeah. Scott saved me, but like honestly, I gasped out loud audibly with the brilliance of Twice Upon a Time. Of course.
Well, this is why I really need to record all of my footage while I'm streaming, because if people can see what I'm doing, they can tell me if OBS is broken or not. All of the mistakes that I've made that have cost me time like that were things that if I was simultaneously streaming, the chat would be screaming, Joe, your mic is screwed up. Joe, you have this overlay on. Joe, the Minecraft window is off center, or
I
like.
tend to just edit as I go to prevent that, to be honest.
Yeah, I guess the problem is like a lot of times I record stuff like, okay, let's blow this up. Which I mean, I guess at that point, if the chat doesn't yell at me before I blow it up, but like I can't. Even if like when I see the footage, it's like, oh no, I just destroyed this and it's too late. But at least in those cases, you can use replay mod, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, like, I don't know what. No, I know why I didn't. I was stressed. I normally do mic checks before I start a recording session, and just check that everything's going through. Didn't do that because I was working with other people.
Yeah.
Some of whom I don't know very well. So it was a case of I'm panicking and I'm just getting into it. They could hear me, but it didn't record. Like obviously I'd had a glitch or OBS had caused problems because OBS has been taking away all my audio stuff anyway. I don't know why.
Oh yeah, it does that.
Do you have were you using the in-game voice chat or were you using Discord for the recording?
I was using the in-game voice chat.
Okay, because there is a mod. So, do you know the way replay mod works is it captures all the packets between you and the server and then re-extrapolates your session later? There's a extension for replay mod that will take all of the audio information you transmitted back and forth and also dump that into WAV files when you run an export. So that has saved me on several occasions where OBS screwed up. Now, it doesn't help if, like, for example, there was one game of TCG where none of us were recording our audio because we were technically in the middle of a Hermitcraft meeting but got distracted and played the TCG. But in that case,
like TCG,
the audio
like I've
wasn't
managed to step away because I've gotten busy. But like it just eats your brain.
It's
so
fun.
Your brain so much. I love it so much. So yeah.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with eating our brains. It's fine.
But yeah, Cleo, I'll hook you up with that replay mod voice chat thing, because that can be a real lifesaver in situations like that.
Yeah. If I remember to use it, because there's no guarantee.
The thing is, though, replay mod is capturing the data either way. The add-on just allows it to render it when you process the video later. Like, that voice data is already in the captured network packets.
Oh. Okay. That seems reasonable. That seems fair. That seems fair. Playing card games in the middle of a meeting is a very funny picture. Like I have no. Like I wasn't at the meeting, but I can believe it happened. Like 100%. And there is silence. Have I gone out of?
No, I can hear you.
Okay. Okay, I'm definitely here. Right. Okay, that's fine.
Yay.
I just panicked because, like I say, having issues.
No, it's fine, Cleo. Sorry, I'm just. I've got a lot on my mind too, so I'm just thinking. My bad. So in Japanese class, one of the things they're really big on is active listening on the telephone. And so like every time the other person pauses for like a comma in their sentence, you're on the phone, you're like, "Hi. Hi. Hi," just to let them know that you're still there and that you're still listening.
Yeah. Oh, in like we have that in the UK. It's yep,
Hi.
So yeah, if like I am really bad with that, I will punctuate everybody else's sentences because anxiety.
Yay! Anxiety's always so much more fun when you sing it. Sometimes I get nervous or stressed out, whether or not I should be. It's just a way to live. Anxiety!
I would argue it's not a way to live, to be honest. It's just something you're stuck with. So I'll nod when I get on the phone and then I feel stupid. Don't feel stupid. That's like a normal human reaction. Everybody does it, and if they say they don't, they're probably lying. Or maybe I'm just outing myself as one of those people.
Oh, one of those people, yes.
I know. Yeah, I'm a terrible person.
But you're so great at it.
I am great at being terrible, but you know why, Joe?
Because you went to the Oz school?
No, because
Oz is the great and terrible.
I know, but because I learnt it from you.
Yay. Or is it the great and powerful?
The great and powerful Oz, yes.
Yeah, sorry.
I talk with my hands and that just makes phone calls difficult. Yeah, that's fine. Thank you, Red
So
Steel
do
Eagle, for the right? For the 23 months resub, nearly 2 years hanging out with. Oh, I need to do that as well at some point next month. Like the 2-year thing. Okay.
Yeah.
That's
I will
fine.
say, one of the fun things about like VR chat or VR mini golf is that you can gesture with your hands and people can see it while you're talking. Like, it really does add a lot.
And oh god, I hate saying this name. I'm sorry, I'll butcher it. Sizmir Skituli. I appreciate you.
Says Miss Skituli, bring me a dream, la la la.
Resubbing because I need to get the cute emotes back. Right. What was what were we talking about?
We were talking about talking with your hands, and I mentioned VR.
Oh. Yeah.
And active listening.
I mean, like I feel like, oh, now I'm doing it. I've kind of trained myself not to talk with my hands.
Yeah.
Because kids make fun of that at school.
Really?
Believe they like, it or not,
Miss, are you Italian?
No, what they will do is if you talk with your hands, they will then, when you ask them a question and you like gesture at them or you do something, they will do it back to you.
That's not making fun of you, Cleo, necessarily.
No, it is. It is.
If you knew these children, you know they were mocking you.
Oh yeah, absolutely. If you knew these children, you would absolutely know that they were mocking you. I'm not denying this. I know these kids. I know these kids. It's the way kids do it. Oh yeah, no, they're not just sort of like you talking back with their hands. What they're doing is they're taking the exact gestures you made, exaggerating it, and then doing it back at you. And it's
Mm-hmm.
sort of like, is that, like, it's that weird line of mockery, and can I do anything about it? Because most of the time the answer is no. Because if I draw attention to it, it will get worse.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And what are we gonna do? Is that on purpose? I feel like it's sort of an imitation thing. Sometimes it's an imitation thing, but like I think that a lot of people don't realize that teachers are able to pick up on stuff as much as they are.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like people are just like, teachers won't get it. They will. They always do. And people just think, oh, teachers are reading too much into it. You get on, like, I'm sure the teachers in the audience, Red, will agree with me. You get on a wavelength and you understand the kids enough to know what is mockery and what is deliberate a-hole behavior. Dangle them out of the third story window by an ankle and mock their incoherent hand flailing. Never have to deal with it again. I mean, I was on the first floor though, I was on the ground.
Yeah, I've only jumped out a window in school once, and it was on the first floor, so it's not as impressive as, like, some people's school adventures.
Why? Why did you do that, Joe? That's a story that I don't think I've heard.
So one of our classrooms on the ground floor had, like, a fire escape window, where, like, most of the windows opened, like, diagonally
Right,
up.
Borealis.
But this one had, like, a hinge on the side, so in a fire, the whole window could swing out like a door, right? And it was a really nice day, so the teacher had all the windows open, including that one. And so this was in high school, and my friend and I were coming from one of the nearest classrooms. And so we came in, the teacher was standing outside the door, because the teacher's, like, standing outside the doors and greeting the kids or whatever. And we're like, hi, Mrs. So-and-so. And we saw that window was open, and I was, like, pointed, like, I pointed, and, like, we both, like, jumped out the window, and then ran around the building, came back in, and then greeted the teacher again. Hi, Mrs. So-and-so. And she's, like, looking into the classroom, like, wait, didn't they just go in there?
You see, that's funny.
Yeah.
You'd still get in trouble for it, but that's funny.
We didn't actually get in trouble, because, once again, this was a ground floor window. It was maybe a 3-4 foot drop, but, like... But yeah, it was great.
Like,
mathematical jackal tip in 45. Thank you.
I've had kids go out the fire escape. Because whilst I was on the first floor, I was also, like, it's really weird. There was a like a hill down from the main school.
Yeah.
And whilst I was on the first floor, I was on the overhang.
Mm-hmm.
And there was, like, what we call the dungeon underneath it, was where all, like,
dungeon.
I mean, it was like a fenced-in area where you put all the garbage.
Oh, fantastic!
You wanted, and I mean, so the kids couldn't get in there. But I had a fire escape out from my room, and I do remember, like, a kid just leaving from my classroom and just sprinting out from the fields across the things, and I just sat there and watched him go. And then I picked up the phone. So-and-so's escaped. Miss, aren't you going after him? Okay, he's a 14-year-old boy, and I am not running after a 14-year-old boy. There is no way I could catch him, and what am I going to do when I get there? That would require leaving you guys.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to catch him. And 2, what am I going to say? He's gonna keep going. Stop! Yeah, I said that. Did you hear me say stop? Yeah, we heard you say stop. What do you want from me? It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna skip class, why be subtle about it?
I mean, it was hilarious. Like, I found it obviously I couldn't say to people that I found it really funny, but I found it really funny.
Yeah.
He won't outrun the consequences. I mean, like, he absolutely, like, I'm not saying that all senior leadership teams are like this.
Yeah.
But a lot of senior leadership teams are like, they will not back you up. They will not back you up. They'll just say, well, why did you let him get out? I didn't let him do anything.
Yeah, just mark
He
him absent and
left.
move on.
You know. Oh no, because if they're in school, because like what happens is you have the main school registers,
Mm-hmm.
and they're taken at the beginning and then at the middle of the day, and then you're to take your own register. But I had already marked him in at that point
Well, I
because
mean, you
he
can.
was just like, "I'm not doing this,"
Yeah.
which was studying for his GCSEs. And then I just went, "Okay, what would you recommend?" "I'm leaving." "How?" And then he left, and I was just like, "Okay, I guess. Yeah, no, that makes sense."
Yeah.
One of the true teacher skills is being able to hold a straight face when the student is absolutely hilarious. Honestly, like some kids who think they're being threatening, and you're just like, "Okay, what are you gonna do? You gonna hit me? Okay, you just won't come back to school again. What do you want from me?"
Yeah. I'm curious, Jem. Do you have any tales of misbehaving in school?
No, I was scared of life, so I just
Same.
sat quietly.
Yeah, I was also the good kid.
I was terrified of doing anything wrong ever, and I really just wanted to be okay.
Oh, I
Didn't
tried to
really say
drop out
much.
of high school. I did not want to be there. Like, I didn't make it my teacher's problem that I didn't want to be there, but like, yeah.
Yeah, I can't say that I wanted to be there either. I
If
wanted to
Like,
play
I don't think
Minecraft.
anybody wants to be. I mean, unless their home life is
well,
absolutely
but
terrible.
there's also some kids who are like, "Oh, this is my ticket to college," which I also didn't want to go to. So, I don't know.
I mean, that's fair. I mean, I don't. School is one of those places where it's just sort of like, if you are in a specific category, it's the best time of your life.
Yeah.
But I don't think most people are in that category. I think most
No,
people
I
are just
couldn't wait
like,
to leave.
yeah, same. And I was a good kid, and I was smart, and I got on with the teachers, and I did really well. But I couldn't be buggered. Couldn't be buggered. It was just not my sort of thing, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was my sort of thing because obviously I did well, but it's just like I've got better things to do with my time, which was go to college and then university. Apparently, just leave the hometown where I grew up as fast as humanly possible.
Yeah, that's basically the same thing I did.
Yeah, I'm trying to leave it again.
It didn't really help though, because I just ended up. I didn't really like uni, and then I was like, I'm gonna be a Minecraft YouTuber. So
Yeah.
what was the
I
point,
did.
really?
I will say now that I've been out for a while, like going back and getting a graduate degree in something that wouldn't make me any money is more appealing. Like, I couldn't justify getting a master's in anything because I was like, none of the things I want to get masters in will help me get a job, and I need a job because of this crippling debt. But like
Mm-hmm.
at this
Yeah,
point, like
I
there's
am lucky that that doesn't happen here. It's not. America is expensive.
Same.
yeah. Yeah,
Same.
but like, there's a lot of stuff where I'm like, man, I really like talking about certain topics on my show. It'd be cool to go back and get some formal training in them, right? And like not because I'm going to go get a job in those fields, but just because I'd be better informed and I feel like I could put on a better show at that point.
Mm-hmm. Um, I would like. I obviously I like learning because I've just said how I was like basically a goody two shoes at school.
Uh-huh.
Um, I like learning. I would like to go back and learn for learning's sake.
Exactly.
But like honestly, I don't need to be tested on it. You know?
Mhm.
Like if I could do the university without the having to like the obsessive need to show progress, I absolutely would. You know? 3 years of just learning stuff would be
Mhm.
great. But I don't want to do exams and I don't want to do coursework and show. I just want to I want to sit there and go, oh yeah, no, that's interesting. Did not know that. I'll do this little task that you set out for me. This is pretty cool. And then I go home and I don't have to think about it, you know?
Yeah.
So I mean that seems ideal to me. but then how will the professors know that they're succeeding? They need feedback too. Well, if I'm telling them they're interesting,
Well,
that's
if they're leading class discussions and you're participating in them, they can tell if you're paying attention or not, right?
true.
Like, yeah, that's a pretty
I mean,
direct
if I'm
feedback loop.
like at this point, I'm not asking for I'm not asking for a qualification. What I'm asking for is to learn cool stuff, and I'll pay you for it. It's just I don't want to have the next year gatekept from me because I didn't pass your tests, you know?
Mm-hmm.
It just writing papers just doesn't appeal to me.
Well, I'm really hoping paper writing is removed entirely from a lot of curricula as a result of this chat GPT stuff.
Oh, I'm not.
That's like an AI thing that lets people write essays like super fast. Basically, essays are no longer an effective way to tell if somebody is learning.
It wasn't effective anyway.
Yeah, that's the thing, is it wasn't. I didn't like writing essays. I wasn't terrible at it, but it just didn't feel like a good use of my time.
I did marine biology, and like the amount of papers I had to write on
how many coelacanths?
Absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
Just rewriting what somebody else already wrote. You're just looking up a bunch of other research papers and just putting it into your own. I felt so stupid. It was dumb.
Yeah, no, I'm like, it's like people say, oh, give them homework. They'll understand what's going on much better. I'm like, no, homework is proven to be actually effectively useless. Don't give kids homework. Make sure they're learning in the lesson.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know, it's like, it's legal, you know, it just doesn't work. Like, the way the education system now is not teaching. I'm not saying it's not teaching useful stuff. I just say that it's limited. It's very limited. And I don't think it teaches things. I think it teaches children how to pass classes. So.
It teaches you memorizing. That's all I did. I memorized everything. I don't know anything now, but I could memorize anything and do it on do a multiple choice so easy.
I mean, we never really have rote learning as a thing to do.
We did when I was a kid. Maybe that's more North American then. I don't know.
Maybe, but like for us, it's like you learn these concepts and you have to answer question on the concepts.
No, my college was lazy, so they had those you did multiple choice and you fill it in on this little piece of paper that they can scan, so they don't actually have to correct it.
Oh, no, we didn't like we had like
done.
For my let's go for my degree. Because my degree is in geology anyway. Like it was always going to be more practical than that, and more fun. Right. Highly recommend if you like going outside and like looking at cool things. Geology is a really good thing to do.
I took a geology course at one point when I was close to giving up.
Yeah,
I just took some random courses at one year.
I mean, geology is like getting to do field work is like the most fun, because going on field trips with your mates that in your class,
mm-hmm.
and then like staying out in the wilderness for days and just like going around looking at rocks and then just messing about on the walkie-talkies. It was so much fun, assuming you find rocks cool. Honestly, if you knew more about them, you would, but that's your failing, not mine.
Yeah, stop failing.
I can just remember being told not to lick a particular rock.
This is uranium, Gem. Don't lick it.
They specifically pointed that out to a group of like 20-year-olds, and I found it very funny.
I mean,
should not need to be said, but okay.
Well, no, like the problem is a lot of rock, identification, like some rock identification is putting it in your mouth. What is the texture? Does it taste salty? It's probably salt. You know, that sort of stuff.
Very fun.
It's like honestly, like messing around in the wilderness with a group of your mates. Like my course had like 16 people on it, and we all got on really well. So it was basically just camping with the mates with just a task to do every day, and then you could go home and sing stupid songs in like I like. And we went to Tunisia together. We got like a little bus where we went around Tunisia and looked at rock formations. You know, we had a tour guide. We got shown all the back stuff. It like geology degree, cannot recommend it enough if you enjoy pissing about in the wilderness.
Well, that'd be cool to go to Tunisia. Like, I don't know. I was hoping I'd get to travel as part of my schooling, but I never got to because I got sick. So that kind of like was the
Yeah.
one thing I was looking forward to that I never got to do anyway.
Yeah. Like we did loads of trips around the country. We did trips abroad. Like you know, it's a lot of fun, and I definitely like if you're ever in like I don't know what I'm doing. Yeah, geology like a geology degree, not so much the jobs. The jobs are pants. You go out in the wilderness, and a lot of the starting jobs would go, could you go dig a hole here and bring back what you find? Don't recommend those. But the actual degree, lots of fun.
Well, and there are some analysis jobs for NASA and stuff that could be cool, but you don't actually get to like go to the moon and pick up the rocks. There is the downside.
No. Like you know, like the actual jobs are just not fun, but the actual doing of the job, fun. Definitely. Would recommend. As long as it's paid well enough, I'd love a job of go to coordinates, collect rock, and return.
Yeah, all that time
job...
spent playing MMOs will pay off.
Okay, I was a junior geotechnical engineer. That is my official job title. What that primarily consisted of was supervising dig sites, supervising the guys who were running the borehole driller, and getting a digger to meet me on site, digging what's called a trial pit, which is fancy speak for a big bloody hole, and getting the rocks back to the job. That was like, I took a degree to do that. Degree it took to do that, and if I didn't have a degree, I wasn't allowed to do it, which is ridiculous.
Yeah, degrees are a little silly, aren't they?
They are.
I think it depends on what you're talking about, though, because like there are certain things like civil engineering. I don't want just somebody going, "This bridge looks good." I want somebody who understands like harmonics and resonance. And,
yeah, they're
like
degrees. Like I did marine biology and med lab, and med lab was not a degree. It was just like a little thing you could do as a trade for a diploma, where you're literally doing medical stuff to humans. And then marine biology was a full-on degree where you're looking at plankton. And it's like,
oh, you didn't even get to the coelacanths
more than the other.
Oh my God.
It feels like, and it's not the right way around.
You see, I had a friend who did biology up in I think it was either Scotland or Wales. It was one of the two, and they spent so much. I think it was in Scotland. They spent so much time looking at at coelacanths, this specific kind of fish in their biology. They didn't do anything else. It was just this fish.
Yeah, that's why I didn't do anything with marine biology, because, dear God.
I mean, it does sound like it would be fun.
It's interesting to study, like really, like kind of the same as geology, but just when I asked about job prospects, it was just like,
well, the thing is, my degree was in applied geology, which is all about getting a job. Technically, if I was willing to travel abroad, I could have earned a lot of money. But the jobs I was offered were in places where I was concerned about my rights.
Yeah, that's the thing, is like if they're like, okay, you can go to this country where women don't have rights, but you have rights as long as you don't break any laws. But all the laws are things like women have to cover their hair. It's like, oh my gosh, like that's
Yeah,
terrifying.
yeah. So like I could have made, like I say, I could have made a ton of money. I could have gone on oil rigs and done all that sort of stuff
Yeah.
with my degree as it stands. Yeah, no.
Uh,
Besides, I never really wanted to work for, like, I was into more the hydrogeology stuff and the chemical geology, so I was never really interested in like the petroleum aspect of things. I was more kind of into the remediation side of things.
yeah, that's where the
But
money is, though, is in the oil.
yeah, but I would have had to go get a master's in order to deal with remediation and stuff.
Hmm.
Like if I wanted to be like taken seriously, at least. Um, so yeah, no, I went into teaching. And I found that much harder.
Oh no.
It all
It's a
worked out though.
difficult
Now
job.
you're doing art on stream.
Now
Yeah.
I like honestly, like just 2 years ago, like my life has changed so drastically in 2 years that I cannot imagine going back.
Yeah.
Um like my life is so different. Like you guys I mean you two obviously understand, but you guys don't understand the difference you guys have made to me, chat. Like you have changed my life like completely, and I'm very grateful for that. So yeah, this is such a different vibe. I bet "don't put the rocks in your mouth" was just as appropriate in teaching as it was in geology. Um yeah, I'm not going to deny that one. Yeah, children, don't put rocks in your mouth, but it's
Hmm.
tasty. No, I mean that depends on the year group I was like I've taught like all years up until 18, I think.
Hmm.
So, oh no, I've taught adults as well, I suppose, thinking about it. Not degree level stuff,
I
but
feel like
like
you teach me every day, Cleo. Well, Mondays and Wednesdays. Well, in the future, just
specifically
Wednesdays.
Mondays and Wednesdays, no other days.
Well, I mean, we don't really communicate a lot out of band.
True.
All right, this was fun, guys, but I gotta go feed my dog.
Thanks for hanging out,
Yeah, no,
Jen.
that's fair. Thanks for hanging out. We really appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
Of
It's nice
course, enjoy
having
the
you.
rest of the stream.
Yeah, see you
See
later.
ya.
Bye.
That was Gemini Tay. You can find her on YouTube and Twitch.tv at Gemini Tay.
Absolutely. Or on YouTube under the same name.
I said that. I said
Did
YouTube
you?
or Twitch TV. Yeah.
Oh, I only heard Twitch. That's my bad. I'm sorry.
It's fine, Cleo. I believe you. Boy.
The way you said that doesn't sound like you believe me. Sounds
do.
weird, but
No,
okay.
it's fine. It's fine. Okay. Gotta do these
Aw,
branches now.
Spot 6 resubscribed for 2 months saying good morning Cleo, Joe and the Horde, but also
Morning.
tipped $25 saying here's just a little bit more towards positive life changes. I
Woo.
appreciate that. You guys are great. You guys are. You just are great. And we appreciate you.
Indeed.
I've put rocks in my mouth as a legal adult, not gonna lie. Same. Having Gem on was great. It would be definitely cool to get hermits on occasionally. We offer.
Yeah, we're always in the open hangout voice chat. Like, except for like when we have a guest like Janie or something who like can't isn't in the Hermitcraft room, but for the most part we're always in a place where they can drop in anytime. But yeah, we're trying to be better about reminding them. Sorry the light in here is fluctuating so much, but with the window open and the sun moving in and out behind the clouds, I'm trying to adjust the exposure as I go with mixed results. It's like I can also turn up the light on the oh wow, that actually barely matters if I turn up the light on the thing there. whatever. Okay. So exposure, bringing that back down to -9. These are just color pencils. The brand is not paying me to promote them.
I mean, that's fair, I guess. Last day of my college geology class, to celebrate us all passing, we just totally turned the room 180 degrees. Was funny until the principal walked in. He just shook his head and turned back out. But you didn't get in trouble for it. That's the main thing.
Yeah. Gotta take those wins where you get them.
The idea of teeth touching rocks feels like nails on a chalkboard, so I personally can't imagine putting rocks in my mouth, but to each their own. I mean,
Don't put your teeth on them.
like when you're doing it for like identification purposes, one, they've been in the ground for a very long time, so you know, like they've come from like actual beds, so the risks are very low. Two, you only do it for specific rocks like siltstone. If you're trying to figure out the difference between a siltstone and a mudstone, that's when you would do it. Or if you're concerned about a band of halite, which is when you taste it for salt. If gemstones weren't meant to be eaten, why do they look so edible? True.
Yeah, like iPod Nanos.
Yeah.
I remember when those came out, I was like, oh, it looks like candy. Nom, 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 nom.
Yeah, make sure to identify them visually first. Yeah, like if like it's really, you really only do it testing between specific kinds of rock rather than every rock.
Yeah.
Don't put every rock in your mouth. That's a bad idea. Don't
not
put
time.
granite in your mouth. If you think it's a granite, don't put it in your mouth. That's not going to work very well for you.
No.
If the rock is green and glowing, like honestly, if there is a chance of uranium around there, like the amount of uranium in a specific bed is unlikely to be as concentrated as to give you serious problems. The world is old. Everything in the biosphere has been through quite a few kidneys and pre-kidney evolutionary equivalents over the millennia. Probably, yeah. With a vein, resubscribe for 22 months. Happy Wednesday. Thank you very much.
With a vein, yeah.
You doing all right, Joe?
I am. I'm having this has been really nice. I'm glad that Jem popped in. That was a fun surprise.
Yeah, I'm not used to people just dropping by.
Well, they said
I
at the
appreciate
meeting,
it.
they're like, "Well, we'll make an effort," and I was like, "Are you gonna really?" People say a lot of things.
I mean, we'll make an effort.
Yeah.
But
like the thing is, we're also overextended. Like,
yeah,
I don't expect
we
anyone
really
to have any extra effort. So it was really nice that Jem did show up. I was very happy about that.
That is very sweet. Jem is lovely.
Oh. Speaking of extra effort, thank you for showing up on Saturday for the Draw for Charity event.
Oh, you're welcome. That's fine.
We ended up raising $10,500 over the course of the whole weekend.
Nice.
So
well done.
Beat our goal there. Yay.
It was fun.
Yay.
It was fun.
Hope you enjoy your new card.
What did I get? Did I get?
Did you win the clock? Which Jev really wanted.
I did.
I think you won the clock because Jev was like, "I'll trade you for that clock."
I don't think I won the clock.
No, what did you get? Did you get the netherite sword or armor or something?
I may have got the netherite.
There was a totem of undying as well.
I really wanted the totem. Mm-hmm. I think I won something netherite. I think.
Yeah, I need to go back through that footage from my episode and like do a summary of this. I think there were 7 matches. I'm gonna do like a quick and we had we had a prize. It wasn't a tournament. It was like more of a prize exposition match.
Yeah.
Series, but still.
Yeah. I mean, I need to redo my deck. I finally got enough pranksters so that I can, like, I didn't realize Mumbo was so powerful. I had 3 Mumbos
Oh no.
in the deck, and I'm just like, why didn't I run? Oh no, I didn't. No, that's what I did. I needed the prankster cards, like the actual
like
things that
playable. Yeah.
yeah, the land cards, the item cards even. I needed those.
Well, that's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've
Netherite is still cool. Like, I'm not arguing about the netherite. I'm pleased I got it. It was just unexpected.
Mhm.
Wanted the totem because I think everybody. No, actually, everybody was after the clock.
Yeah, that the clock is
So-
pretty good, but
Yeah. I've got one though, so you know, like I'm trying to diversify.
Mhm.
Da-da-da-da.
Okay.
Prankster deck can be so annoying to deal with, especially with the online version not having rarity be a factor.
Well, oh yeah, that's something that I worked on this weekend too. Was doing a test deployment of that TCG game.
Oh, yeah, how'd that go?
It took 2 hours, and I was starting with something that, as far as I know, no one else had ever deployed anywhere outside of like them on their own server. So there was a bunch of stuff that was hard coded in that I had to route around the damage on and stuff like that. But I sent,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, one of the devs showed up on my stream later, and I was like, okay, so here's, you need to fix this, you need to fix this, you need to fix this. I was gonna write all this up next week sometime, but since you're here, here's my list. So they've already started making those changes, so it'll be easier for people to deploy those themselves.
Yeah.
So like that way, for example, like I'll set up an instance just for my Patreon patrons to play, so they can be guaranteed to be playing against other people that are hopefully in the community and
Yeah.
not gonna just abandon games in the middle or be jerks. But also one of the big things is like Mumbo and Grian haven't even played this yet, and like once
Yeah.
this goes out in their videos, having only one server in the world running a version of this game is going like they're not going to be able to keep up with demand. And so one of the things we
No,
were talking
probably
about
not.
at the meetings was each of the hermits kind of anybody who wants to deploying their own since it's an open source project. And
I mean, I don't have.
well, you don't have to do it if you don't
run
want
it.
to. Nobody's gonna.
I mean, I would like to. I just don't have the resources to do it right now.
Yeah, well, I mean, it'll run on any server with Node, HTML. Like, if you have an Apache web server somewhere, like, where are you hosting, like, zombiecleo.com or whatever? Do you have something like that?
I'm hosting it through a company.
Gotcha.
So...
Okay. Yeah, because, like, if you have people running your Minecraft servers and running your web servers, like, I don't. I'm doing it all myself. But it's a relatively straightforward thing to set up if you do have that.
Yes, we hear sirens. We know. It's Joe. Don't worry.
What? I'm sorry, I have my window open and I live in the city.
Yeah, I know. It's just people were asking if they heard sirens. I'm like, we know. It's Joe. It's fine.
It's just Joe, mate.
I don't like the way you said that. I don't know why, but that just felt weird.
Yeah, I've been told that my British accents aren't very good. Like,
Oh no, who by?
I know everyone, but especially my fiance.
I'm shocked.
Yeah, I know.
I've never told you your accents are
Joe,
bad.
I can't believe you would spend time with somebody who criticizes you.
Crystalite resubscribed for 23 months. Thank you very much. Many hugs
Woo.
to you too. E.
You know, if I set this to auto exposure, just because the sunlight is so insane. Nope, that is actively worse. Okay.
That's actively worse. It's what we'd like to hear. Is that better? No, no, no.
Oh, yeah.
Actively worse.
It's like every time the sun goes behind a cloud, I'm like going and I'm clicking over and I'm switching the exposure. And I'm like, well, there is an auto exposure option. There's a reason I usually keep it off, and it's because it's terrible. But like maybe in this one situation, this would be better. It's like, no, not better.
Not better at all.
Yep.
Hang on, I need to do some quick research.
Ooh.
Okay, so what I'm getting, if I research the word tropical, I'm getting mangoes.
So you're looking for a tropical fruit, or
I'm just looking. I just hit the word in tropical.
coconuts are usually considered like a tropical fruit.
Yeah.
Let's
Because
see.
a lot of palm trees going on.
Yeah.
I was just looking for easy things to draw.
Uh-huh.
Tropical summer. Like lots of pink little flowers. Okay, well I'll do a little drawing down here maybe with a flamingo because consistency.
Yay, consistency. It is so nice
Pineapples,
being able to have
mangoes.
the window open.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to like summer, I guess.
Yeah. You don't get spring there?
Not really.
Oh, no.
I mean, kind of.
Mm-hmm. Now there's an airplane.
Now there is an airplane.
Okay, so there's like blue at the top of this. Like the sky is blue here.
Spring is a nice 20 minutes towards the end of March. This is true. This is true. I mean, at least summer like sticks around for a bit.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's nice. Summer's
mean,
pretty long here in
sometimes.
Tennessee, so.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't like a Tennessee summer because that sounds like torture.
Yeah, spring and fall are definitely appreciated around here quite a bit.
I could use the vitamin D of summer. I mean, you know, if you can't make your own, store-bought is fine.
Well, I think absorbing vitamin D through the sun is easier for the body. Like, the amount that you reject when you ingest it isn't, like...
I know, that's why I said if you can't make your own, store-bought is fine. I'm not saying it's the best way. I'm just saying, you know, don't be too hard on yourself.
What?
Are you okay, Joe? Do you need to
I'm just
stop?
a little yawny. I don't know. I've been trying to get sleep.
Yeah.
Like many things I attempt.
I understand, Joe. I understand.
Like, I'm not going to call myself a failure, because then people will argue with me in the chat. But sure, it'd be nice if I was better at this. Like, it's one of those things where they're like, oh yeah, 10,000 hours of something, and you'll be a pro. And I'm like, I have definitely spent more than 10,000 hours trying to be asleep. And I'm not, it's not helping.
I'm not great at that. I try both, but realistically, I get more from supplements. Yeah, it's like, don't have to worry, you know.
But you can choose to worry.
You can choose if that's how you feel.
The option
in
exists.
general. I would not recommend the I want to say the trauma, but I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. Would not recommend trying and failing if you don't have to.
Yurgi says, I feel like a large chunk of Joe's Discord will relate to the not very skilled at sleeping thing.
Yeah. I mean, I think that is an epidemic of the universe these days.
Yeah.
We'll get there, chat. We'll get there together.
Yep.
I'm not convinced by this, but if I say it, it'll be fine.
Yeah.
I like pretty fresh snow. The day's old grey mush that happens with the plows and cars ruin it. I like snow, but I would I would rather be in that bit between spring and the height of summer. Like, I would like to be before it or slightly after it. So, you know, if I had a choice, which I would like to reiterate, I do not.
England has no climate choices.
No, only climate problems.
Yep.
It just feels appropriate that there's sirens going off at the moment for some reason.
I was gonna say, you know, like Nashville's full of hospitals, right? Like the whole the whole state had all its, not all, but like a lot of its rural hospitals shut down. So the ones in the city here have expanded, and there's always helicopters and ambulances going past.
I guess that makes sense.
Microbird says, no screens 2 hours before bed is a hard rule to follow. Yeah, especially because, like, I stream every night at 8:30 at night. Like, I've tried...
See, I heard that. Like, I didn't hear it as no streams. I heard it as no screams.
No
screams 2 hours before bedtime.
Oh, see, I think any sort of activity that results in screaming 2 hours before bed is probably going to just help you get some of that energy out. So, you know.
I guess it depends on your nightmares. I mean, not specifically your nightmares. Oh. What else should I do? Draw cat chat. Can you see the chat? Can you see what I'm drawing? Like, does it come through?
I need to pull up a better image of this thing I'm working on too. Mishima
it does. Okay. That's cool. I need something here. Like, I've got like sunglasses and flowers and coconut drink and watermelon.
Ooh, little umbrellas?
Yeah, I got a little umbrella in it.
Ah.
Someone holding a slice of pizza. No. Popsicle?
Here's the Met Museum's version of this.
Sunscreen. Beach ball. I'd have to make a beach ball bigger, I think. Because, you know, that's sunglasses, that's coconut. Beach ball. Tiny crab. I like the idea of a seashell if I can figure out how to draw it. Like a conch.
Ooh. Oh, wow. The Met Museum version of this is way better than the one that came with the coloring book. The coloring book has, like, a picture of, like, on the back of what the original looks like. And it is, compared to the Met Museum version, it is terrible. Like, there's a bunch of detail that I didn't even see here. Thanks to the Met Museum for doing a good job. I should have, like, looked at this one first, really, is what I'm learning. Now, like I said, I think that the way this book works, they include 2 of every picture. So
Mm-hmm.
if you screw it up, you get another shot. But I don't want to start over at this point.
I mean, that's legit.
Maybe in a year or 2 I'll revisit this, but I'm not going to do that again today. I'm just going to continue doing the best I can with the one I've got.
I believe in you, Joe.
Thank you, Cleo. It's appreciated.
You're welcome. I mean, considering that the last time I didn't believe in you, you won Sexy Man.
Yeah, I
You
mean,
know.
obviously believing in me is a good bet.
Obviously.
Morning, Kay. Welcome.
Hey, Artsy, thank you for coming over. It's appreciated. You know, it's ending up as a crab. Everything ends up as a crab.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's true.
Cleo, did you have any Game Boy systems when you were younger? Like Nintendo
I
Game
had
Boy?
the original Game Boy.
Did you see that they put out a bunch of Game Boy games for the Switch now? Like the original
Nope.
Tetris and Super Mario Land and stuff?
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. I think there might be 2-player on some of that stuff. Most of the games out right now wouldn't necessarily be great at it.
Mm-hmm.
But if you see anything in there where you're like, oh boy, I want to play that on stream, feel free to hit me up if you wanted to do 2-player, like, on anything.
Again,
Your schedule is insane. I know.
no, well, my schedule is insane, but also my Switch
Oh, you don't have the
is a
dockable
handheld.
one. Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
that's right.
it's handheld.
I forgot, sorry.
That's okay.
Yeah, well.
I mean, I absolutely would if I had one that, you know, worked. Or a capture card. Or like any of that stuff, actually.
Yeah. Quick reminder, supporting the stream is a great way to help us afford new equipment. Tips are welcome via paypal.me/JoeHills,
Hey,
YouTube
Pearl
Super Chat.
Raiders.
Pearl Raiders!
Hi, thanks for coming over with your potato party.
Yeah.
What was Pearl playing? And did they have a good stream? It's the important thing.
Can we make potato noises, Cleo?
Yes, Joe, make potato noise now.
Here I go.
Oh, it's genius. Like,
Ta-da!
blown away. Perfect potato noises. Last of Us 2. Oh, I'm going to be getting Last of Us to play because I've not actually played it.
Yeah, well, it's supposed to be coming out for PC soon, Pearl said, I think last time she read it.
Yeah.
So,
yeah,
I don't know if I'm gonna... I don't do a lot of story games like that on stream because it's hard for people to pop in and out. But, I don't know. I am curious to play it.
I mean, that's fair. I mean, I play a lot of stream games.
I guess this one has been around for so long, though, that a lot of people probably already know the story. I just want to probably see my reaction to it.
Yeah, that's what I think about it. Thank you, Bakura, for gifting a sub to Pearl. It's appreciated.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, that's a game that I definitely have wanted to play for quite some time.
Mm-hmm.
And just haven't had the system for it.
Yeah, and people keep recommending this TV series about it, but I'm one of those people where I'm like, I want to see what it's adapted from first. But, Sony's got the monopoly on it. I'm not going to go buy a PlayStation just to play one game just because somebody made a TV show. Like, I know that's
honestly,
their goal.
Played TV show is good. Have played TV show, have watched TV show.
You can press play on a television show. Or you can press pause.
This is true.
So, I mean, those are both viable options, in my opinion.
Thank you, Joe. You are correct, as always.
I'm always happy to validate you when you're already right. At no other time.
I mean, that tracks. That tracks. Yeah, I'll sort out legs. It's fine. then maybe we can just have some spiky leaves going out here. Balances it out, sort of. There we go. No crabs. Not everything has to be about crabs, guys. I mean, the universe thinks it does, but not here. Anyway, thanks, Pearl, for the raid. If you're still here, go get dinner or breakfast. I'm not sure.
Yeah, feel free to stop in and bother us anytime on one of these Wednesdays, because we're always in the group hangout.
I feel like it's early and or late.
Yeah, I always misestimate what time it is in Australia.
I think it's probably about midnight there.
Yeah, because
that's what it feels like.
Because Hawaii is like, I think 6 hours behind me, and it's further than Hawaii. So in Hawaii it'd be 4:30 in the morning, I think. So
maybe the other way around. I don't know. It's 3 a.m. for her.
Oh wow.
Yeah, no, that tracks. I was a little bit off, but about 3 a.m. Go to sleep, Pearl. Past midnight snack. You can do that. Honestly, I'm no better when it comes to sleeping, so, you know.
People in my chat are talking about whether or not, like, physical activity helps them sleep better. And I think one of the things that a lot of people, when they get a dog, it helps their mental health and their sleep schedule, just because they're getting out and going for a walk every day, hopefully, right? And, like, because I noticed, like, when my kid is here, like, we like to go for walks and talk to each other and stuff, but when it's just me on my own when she's gone at her mom's, I'm not just going out and randomly walking places as much. And, like, I think there's definitely a correlation between, like, getting out and going for walks and resting better and feeling better, for me at least.
She does this every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I know she does. I know. That's because she's nocturnal. Meeting times are a nightmare because she should not be awake.
Yeah.
I feel for Pearl. But I feel my schedule, like, of actually sleeping is very similar to Pearl's.
Yeah, well, I've got to wake up and make lunch and send my kid to school every morning, so I can't afford to have a bad sleep schedule.
Yes, Joe.
As much as I would adore one.
Yeah, I know. I find nighttime is the easiest time for me to do stuff. It's when I feel better, but I am trying to juggle a lot of balls right now. Is what I'm trying to do. But that's fine.
She's not called Pearlescent Sun, is she?
I mean, that's true, but also, wow.
Yeah, when do you see the moon? At night. I guess that tracks.
Yeah. Night is the best time to do stuff, but only if you can wake up late. Yeah. I mean, that's true. Yep. That just is true.
Yep. Oh gosh, I'm really worried that I'm not going to be able to afford a 3-bedroom place again. Like, because, like, we find out in a few weeks where my kid's going to middle school, and, like, so, like, it's one of the things I'm dreading is if I have to get, like, go back to having, like, an out of the apartment studio, like, the night streams are gonna be, like, kitchen table streams on my laptop possibly at that point, and, like, I don't, because, like, if I can't afford a studio in the place,
Yeah.
Because like commercial real estate is way cheaper now because of all the offices closing, but residential is super pricey. And everybody wants a home office, and so 3-bedroom apartments are harder to get.
Yeah, that's true.
So, I don't know. I might be having to figure out how to change my stream schedule anyway to do more stuff during the day.
Well, I'm also looking to start house hunting in probably at the end of April.
Mm-hmm.
So finally make that move. Excuse me. Fingers crossed, eh? Fingers crossed.
Mm-hmm. Welcome back, Hufflepuff Cookie. Good luck in class. Okay.
You about ready to go? You sound like you're about ready to go.
Yeah, I think I'm pretty good. Like this turned out pretty okay. It maybe a little bit more to do next week on it. It's not quite 100% finished, but like it's 90% of the way there, and then I'll do some detail work next week. So
that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Okay, well we can
break off into
finish up, and I will see you. No, I'm not going to see you on Thursday.
Oh, you're not going to be at the Thursday meeting?
No, I've said I'm going to be out for the next few Thursdays.
Okay, because I knew you were out for the next few Mondays. Is that...
Well, I'll send you messages after the stream.
Okay, cool. Well, I'll catch you later, Cleo.
I'll see you later, Joe. Bye.
So we're going to disconnect from the Hermitcraft voice chat, and it's just us now stream. Welcome, not raiders, I guess, no. I don't think I missed any raids. Welcome, viewers. I hope you had a fun time hanging out. Just do a last call for tips here. If you enjoy the show, tips are welcome via paypal.me/JoeHills and YouTube Super Chat. I'm pretty happy with how this turned out. Could I get some feedback on, like, how much of a problem was the sunlight? Because I really like doing these streams with the windows open, but, like, I don't know how closely people look at the video all the time anyway. Is it massively problematic? Ooh, shadows. Ooh. Is it massively problematic having the windows open during these, or was it dealable? Lakshmi13 says it actually looked cool to me. Starry says I didn't even notice it until you pointed it out. Kay says the sunlight adds a nice ambiance. Sis says I didn't look at it much, but whenever I did look at it, it was fine. I do like the natural light. Marcia says it was fine. Quirky says I kind of noticed, but it wasn't too important because the stream is background noise most of the time. That's what I was thinking, was that for the most part, like, most people aren't, like, actively watching every brush stroke here or pencil stroke here. It's not like a Bob Ross show. And even then, people are supposed to kind of do their own thing. Mini Cheese Mouse says mostly just listening. Fantastic. Okay. Yurgi says, I appreciate you're able to open your windows. Reminds me not everywhere is actively pouring rain right now. Yeah, that's one of the things I like the idea of having a strong sense of place on streams. Graysky says, I like the birds earlier especially. Yeah, exactly. That's part of it. I like, like I live in Nashville. Right now it's a little bit windy. There's always sirens and stuff going past. There's birds. It's nice, You can hear the trees rustling. Like, Nashville has a lot of trees. That's one of the nice things about it as a city. And so, like, I like sharing a little bit of a sense of place in this. In the YouTube videos, Hermitcraft is supposed to be the place, right? So I shut all that out. But, like, for a stream like this, where it's like, hey, come join me while I do art in my studio, I like sharing a little bit of that. Microbird says the background noise is calming. Awesome. Well, thank you all so much for the feedback. We're going to give it another minute or two just to see if any last-minute tips roll in. We are currently at... Where is it? Where is my tipping amount? We are currently at 100 degrees of angular rotation, so hey, not bad. It's me, hi. I kind of, the problem is because of where I sit for the craft stuff, there's not a good way to set up a camera here that's directly pointed at me all the time. But Quirky says, I got 1 tip stuck in PayPal limbo. Don't worry about a shout out. Yeah, it might take a minute, but you know what? Oh, wait. Hold on, that's weird. Okay, it's not showing up on the website, but I did get a notification about it just now. Okay, so thank you very much. Okay, so I can't read the descriptions on these, but yeah, one came in from Corky. So, for 10, so we're going to rotate the camera 10 degrees. Do. And then one came in from W for 5 degrees. Do. Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure. Sometimes PayPal's weird like that. But thank y'all so much, regardless. Okay, so this has been a lot of fun, y'all. Let me see who is out there in the broader world of Twitch streaming right now. We're going to mute the site, and we're going to hit... Why don't we go ahead and send folks over to Music Man, who is playing some Minecraft. Hardcore Minecraft Solo 119.2. We used some of Music Man's music at the beginning of the last Raw for Charity stream /raid. Music Man 1017. Whoops, that's the wrong... That command doesn't work in YouTube. Sorry, YouTube, let me paste the actual link. Our raid message is, howdy y'all, Joe Hills raid here. Alrighty. Until next time, y'all, this is Joe Hills from Nashville, Tennessee. Keep adventuring. Do. Raid now. Starting the